Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I'm Veronica and today I'm going to tell you about the effect of using mobile access dictionary or fun easy learning English dictionary on student vocabulary achievement at SMPN 11 Kendari. In this presentation, I've divided in 5 sections. The first one is introduction, the second one is literature review, the third one is methodology, and then finding and discussion, and the last is conclusion and recommendation. Okay, let's move for the first one, or introduction. As we know, vocabulary is a part of English language, or the first step that we must to have, because vocabulary is central and important things in language. Learning vocabulary is mean that we must to understand the meaning of the words so we can express uh, what we want to what we want to say by using the word. But during in learning teaching process, the researchers found some case like the students tell us vocabulary and doesn't understand the meaning of the word. So the researcher suggests the new media for helping students to increase student vocabulary, especially in SMPN 11 Kendari. Uh, it using it MED or Fun Easy Learning Dictionary in learning teaching process. So, based on reason above, the researcher conducted to find out whether or not significant effect of using mobile access dictionary on student vocabulary achievement. And the research question in this research is there any significant effect of using MED or Fun Easy Learning Dictionary on student vocabulary achievement at SMPN 11 Kendari? And the objective of the study is to find out whether or not significant effect of using mobile access dictionary or Fun Easy Learning Dictionary on student vocabulary achievement. And the scope of the study is concerning to learn vocabulary by using MED and consists of memorization and pronunciation. And the topic is about public building, thing in the house and thing in the classroom. And in this research or in this study has three hypotheses. The first one is there is significant effect of using MED, and the second one is there is no significant effect of using mobile access dictionary. And next about definition of them. The first one is according to Lee, more more is an approach that we use by using handheld device. And according to Bagus, say that Fun Easy Learning Dictionary is an English Indonesia offline dictionary, and the last is about vocabulary. According to Lindsay, say that vocabulary is collecting the word that we know and don't know. And next section is about literature review. The first definition is MED. According to Farisov 2013, say that MED is an internet service, internet access for user dictionary for searching the meaning of the word. And same with my explanation before, say that Fun Easy Learning Dictionary is an English Indonesia offline dictionary that can search the meaning by using audio visual. And the last is according to Lindsay, say that vocabulary is collecting the word that we don't know and know. And the second one is and then next about learning vocabulary. According to Nation, say that in learning vocabulary we must to have focus, we must have to responsibility to be autonomous learner. And after we have focus, we must to sure use what want to learn. And according to Cameron, Berster and Alice 2013, say that in learning vocabulary we must to have list for the word they want to learn. After you have the list, we must to practice our pronunciation, and after we try to practice how to speak the word, how to pronunciation, we try to repeat and repeat again so we can easy to remember the word itself. And next session is about methodology. In this research or this study, the researcher used quasi-experimental design and consists of two classes. The first one is experimental class and the second one is control class. And using MED or Fun Easy Learning Dictionary as independent variable and student vocabulary achievement as dependent variable, and the population of this study was all 7th grade student at SMP 11 Kendari that consists of 76 students, and the sample of the study consists of 51 students, and the researcher pilot the data on Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018, and the result of validity of the research was 25 item invalid and 19 item invalid, and the result of reliability was 0,913, and it classified on very high criteria. And then to collecting the data, the researcher give the first one give a pretest. After they give the pretest, the researcher give a treatment, and the last is give a post-test. And to analyze the data, the researcher use descriptive and inferential statistics. And next session is about finding and discussion. I have two finding. The first one is finding in experimental class. I have a chart in finding in experimental class. You can see that the first one is very high criteria. The student in process is value. The value in student in process is higher than the value in pretest. The student who get very high criteria in process is 57%, and in pretest 24%. Same like in high criteria, and in average and low and very low criteria, the post-test is lower than pretest. You can see like in average criteria, the student who get average criteria in pretest is 38%, and in post-test 13%. And the second chart in experimental class is the main score in pretest is 59,66 and in post-test 79,63. And in maximum and minimum score, you can see that post-test is higher than pretest, and standard deviation in pretest is 2,01 and in post-test 1,28, or we can conclude that have significant effect of using mobile access dictionary or Fun Easy Learn Dictionary on student vocabulary achievement in experimental class. Okay, next session is finding in control class. I have chart again. In control class, you can see that the value in post-test is higher rather than pretest, especially in very high criteria. You can see that the student who get very high criteria in post-test is 14% and in pretest 9%. But in average, the value of pretest is higher than post-test. You can see that the student who get average criteria in pretest is 38% and in post-test 33%. And the second chart, you can see that the main score in pretest is 55,19 and in post-test 64,8, and maximum and minimum score is higher than pretest, and standard deviation in pretest 1,8 and post-test 1,5. Then it means that the have no significant effect of using mobile access dictionary or MED or by using Fun Easy Learning Dictionary on student vocabulary achievement and in control class. And then in this research, we have hypothesis that the value of T count is 3,775 and T table is 2,0110, and P value is 0,00 and alpha value is 0,005. Or we can conclude that the T count is higher than T table, and P value is lower than alpha value. So we can conclude that Hasato or hypothesis is accepted, or is there any significant effect of using mobile access dictionary on student vocabulary? And the effect size in these phases, it's gotten 0,47, and based on Cohen criteria, it's classified on medium effect size. And next is about discussion. To increase student vocabulary based on medium effect size, it caused by some factors. The first one is because the researcher finds some media that more interesting rather than printed dictionary, like using application fun easy learning dictionary application. The second one is uh, in this application has a question and material, so the student can learn by the application. And the last factor is has audio visual, like a picture and pronunciation, so they can learn enjoy, so they can learn easy to remember the word itself and have more motivated when they are learning vocabulary. And the same factor have been explained by some theory, and it be the reason why the value of pretext is higher rather than control class. And next, or the last session is conclusion and recommendation. For conclusion, I will conclude that is there any significant effect of using mobile access dictionary or fun easy learning dictionary on student vocabulary achievement at SMPN 11 Kendari by using fun easy learning, because it can have student enjoy the first one and easily to remember, and then because the application is interesting rather than printed dictionary, it can make students have more motivated when they are learning vocabulary. And for recommendation, I will recommend to next researcher. Maybe you can I will conduct to if you want to research the same application, maybe you can conduct in different level. And the second one is because can increase student vocabulary, so so you can apply suggest to apply this application in learning teaching process. And the last recommendation for you is when you try to applying this applying this application or media in learning teaching process, you can having in smaller groups, so you can manage your time and your student when you learn vocabulary. And I think it's all over my presentation. Thank you.